Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2025 Rebel UWing Starfighter. It is set number 75399, comes with 594 pieces plus 4 minifigures, and came out on May 1st, 2025 at a retail price of $70, and it is based off of Andor Season 2. And to be honest, I just watched the 3 episode arc of season 2 that I'm pretty sure this says based off of episodes 7 through 9. Wow, those are some pretty heavy episodes, and I gotta admit, while the UWing doesn't show up all that much, I think they got the minifigure choice pretty solidly. We got Cassian Andor, K2SO, an ISB tactical agent, and Dedra Miro. Again, pretty solid figure. Her lineup, but as they are some pretty important characters in that particular arc of Andor. Take a look at the box art. You got the full ship in its full glory. He flying off of what I can only assume to be Yavin 4. Plus, you can see the spring-load shooters launching off, like the Andor and Stormtrooper. Her image is in the bottom left corner. Plus, the black box art which honestly almost kind of feels UCS, but I think it's a good color scheme for the Andor season, for this Andor season 2 set. Taking a look at the top of the box art, you get a 1-to-1 scale image of the Cassian minifigure, and taking a look at the back, we once again have the UWing in full glory. They landed on Yavin 4. You can actually see the Masasi Temple there in the background, and you can see a couple of the play feature. Here's like the opening cockpit, the spring load shooters, and flipping the wings from flight mode to attack mode. This box does have the tabs, so you do have to damage the box in order to get it open. We'll go ahead and take a look what all we got in here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Got a small sticker sheet with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stickers, which honestly not too bad. So we got 4 bags. We got 5 and 6 bags in total, and 1 instruction manual showing off a CG render of the set. We take a look in the instruction manual. We once again have an ad for paper bags in a set without them. Just jump straight into the build. Then in the back, you have 2 pages. Make that 3 pages of the parts list, and showing off a couple other sets came out around the same time. We got the ARC 170, the Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, Grogu with Pram, and the bootable Chopper. All in all, pretty solid lineup of sets there. Should be a pretty fun build, so we'll go ahead and jump into time lapse of that, starting right now. Alright, the build is done. That took about an hour or so to get on. Pretty solid build, if I do say so myself, although there are a few things I would have changed up. We'll go ahead and start off, as I usually do, starting with the minifigures. Starting in the order that we make them. We don't start off with our boy Cassian. We actually start off with our ISB agent. ISB tactical agent, forgive me. Just double checking the box to make sure to get the correct name. He does include a nice a Nexonite shield piece as a riot shield. One of the things just about the only thing I would have changed up with this figure is that in the scene is with these guys, the shield is actually transparent, similar to like what you would see with SWAT police. So with their riot gear. So that's probably one of the few things I would have changed up, is to make this gray piece transparent. taking a look at the figure itself, he does, no, I do like the hat piece with just that micro-sized Imperial logo there. Amazing at how they were able to get that small print on there. He's got a now about a generic face like you didn't ask for, and as you can imagine, no secondary face since the hat doesn't cover it. But take a look at the torso. Looks really good with a nice amount of metallic printing here. Like you got clips there at the top of the armor. Plus, there's a good amount of it on the belt. Nice, but actually, you also got a little bit on like the knee, in the knees. Good the printing all around with the armor. Take a look at the back, and brace up there as well. And he's got your regular Star Wars blaster. So all in all, for you could almost call it a throw-in character. You know, I feel like the set's a bit more worth that $70 price point. He's actually a really solid figure. Second up, we finally have our main boy, Cassian, looking really nice. Strangely enough, with Cassian, one of these extra pieces they throw in is a second hair piece. So, like, if you want to take off the hat for the ISB agent, you can just give him that hair piece. But yeah, pretty so good hair piece. He's for Cassian. Face printing looks really nice. Nice amount on the stubble all on the side. He does have a secondary face, which looks almost a little, almost looks a little generic, almost a little boring compared to the main face. But though it has a nice secondary face, good printing on the torso with the vest underneath the shirt with that like that bluish going. Just a little bit of metallic printing there on the belt buckle. Some good printing on the legs with like the thigh holster, and there's some basic printing going on in the back. Next up, we've got Dedra Miro, which I gotta say, I really love the hat hair combo. Basically, the same hat as the ISB tactical agent, but though with the hair sticking out, which I've heard people mention this before, and I totally agree with. You guys may remember the video game Star Wars Force Unleashed, specifically the character Juno Eclipse. Like we got one set based off of Force Unleashed back in the early mid 2000s, which had Juno Eclipse. And if Lego ever decide to be awesome and just recreate that set, even though again is like early mid 2000s, if they ever recreated that, this hat hair combo would be perfect for Juno. Oh, actually, the face would be a very solid choice as well. Well, now I think about it, she does have a secondary angry face. The torso print looks really good. Unfortunately, the white on the legs is a little thin. Unfortunately. Oh, which is rather unfortunate, and unfortunate, it's becoming a bit of a thing with Lego. Not a good thing, but unfortunately, it is a thing. The printing for the blaster holster goes all the way from the torso to the hip down to the leg, which honestly it actually lines up not too bad. And you do have a little metallic printing on the belt. Taking a look at the back, that looks pretty good as well. And she has your regular Han Solo style blaster. And for our fourth figure, which is actually the one that's most exciting for me, we got K2SO. Reason it's so exciting for me is because I never got him with the Rogue One sets. I gotta admit, Rogue One was a bit of a sleeper movie for me. Like I wasn't like when I heard the concept of what the movie was going to be, I gotta admit, I found myself uninterested until I started seeing the trailers and actually saw the movie, and it ended up being one of my favorite Star Wars movies ever. But because of that, I ended up not getting a whole lot of sets. All I got was the original UWing for this, and then the Y-Wing. And since K2SO came in Krennic Shuttle, I never actually got a hold of him. But apparently this is almost a bit of, from the sounds of things, this is a reuse of all the molds from that original K2SO. But all in all, he looks really good. It actually looks really good. The mold for the head and torso, that's actually one piece, looks really good. And you got the eyes and printing on the torso. What really shocks me is the Imperial logos on the you could say his shoulders. Like, holy smokes, those Imperial logos look solid. Like, I mean, like if they're able to make them that small, why is it that we have to deal with like small stickers? Like, come on, like, oh, you're showing us right here that you can do better than small stickers. Why aren't you doing the prints? Well, all in all, really solid look for K2SO, and he does have the regular Star Wars blaster. All in all, pretty solid figure choice, especially considering the most recent episodes of Andor to come out at 7, 8, and 9. All four of those figures line up really well for that arc, and especially considering the fact that it's also the arc that the UWing first shows up in. It doesn't show up all that much, but it's certainly there. As for the UWing itself, it's a pretty solid, somewhat downscaled UWing. I only say somewhat because I actually have the Rogue One UWing sitting right next to me. I'll do a comparison of the two in just a minute. But take a look at the UWing. It's actually really nice. It's a good size. It's actually bigger than what I thought it would be for a downscaled UWing, and like it's bigger than what the images said that showed off made it look like. It's actually a really decent size. You of course have the main function of the opening wing. And he's going from flight mode to attack mode, which really makes this thing look bigger than what I thought it would. I think the main thing that I don't like about the build is, almost showed off of the functioning spring-loaded shooters, which I didn't mean to. The main thing I don't like about the build is the engine, specifically where they attach to the main body. Like a lot, like for the front and back, it's all nice clean curves. But once you go to attach, the section you go to attach to, it becomes real edged off and blocky. So it kind of ruins instead that nice clean curved look. You go have a couple of stickers on the wings right here, plus one over here, but and then you got one up there in the front, and then you also have a sticker for the console in the interior. As for that spring-loaded shooter, it's a really simple design, super clean. You can see that the saws stick up just a little bit. All you have to do is push down on it, and both fire super easy. Like it's very much like the function for the Rogue One UWing, just instead of firing off separately, you fire off both at once. It does have the opening cockpit with the nice printed canopy. As I said, you do have a sticker console, and you can fit Andor in there. Although he fits in there rather interestingly. Like you get him in there, and instead of like actually sitting in like at the controls, it looks more like he's got the seat reclined and he's taking a nap in the cockpit. That's what it looks like to me. Also, they added like something I'm not sure they really needed to, but like if you don't like want to like open the console fully just by grabbing on, they added this little plunger that just you push it in and it just pops the canopy open just a smidge, which just helps you open it up. But yeah, if you put Cassian in there, it looks more like he's lying down in the chair than actually flying it. Like he's looking up. Take a look. He's looking up at the stars, not like what's in front of him. Yeah. Plus, you do have the secondary ear window for the chupe. Like looking down like where you're going to land, and you do have the opening panels, which unfortunately are a bit inaccurate. Showing that like they drop down instead of sliding out, similar to what happened with the Coruscant Guard gunship, just maybe a little worse. At least with the Coruscant Guard gunship, it was two doors that you're supposed to slide to the side. With the air, it was only one door. But with the Coruscant Guard gunship, it was one door. So it's like but I say it's worse because at least with the quotes on gunship, at least you do have, at least they slide the right way. But you do have some like window tiles in the door, and when you open the thing up, there's not a whole lot of space. Like you can probably fit one other minifigure in there, but there's not a whole lot of space going back there. You do have something of a back door, but it leads to nothing. But all in all, it's a pretty solid size. You can say UWing. So, and we'll go ahead and bring in the big one from Rogue One. And again, for a quote unquote downscaled UWing, taking a look at this thing, it's not downscaled all that much. Like it's got maybe like a couple inches. It's got like a couple inches on this thing. The real downscaling is actually in the main body, where it's like I don't know, two, three, like what, 2, 3 studs. It's wider, and again, it does have the more clean looking engines. Plus, is I said, the big UWing has the accurate opening and sliding door and a much larger troop bay. Like it can actually have like 2 or 3 guys in there. Plus, it has the deployable guns, which the new UWing does not have. So all in all, despite it being a quote unquote downscaled UWing, it's not downscaled all that much. So all in all, for $70, we are looking at just short of 600 pieces. So might seem a bit high for the price point, but all in all, the UWing is pretty solid. And again, considering the most recent arc of Andor, episodes 7, 8, and 9, which I'm certain this set is based off of, your minifigure selection is actually very solid, like very accurate to the arc. I can't help but feel like Disney added the 4 figures they give you intentionally, because of course you got Andor, and of course you got Cassian, so I mean he's your main character. The show's literally named after him, so he's all over the place. But the other 3 figures are quite well connected to that arc as well. Dedra's arc throughout the whole season, throughout season 2, comes to a head in episode 8 very explosively. Yeah, spoiler alert. The ISB tactical trooper is very connected to episode 8 as well. And as for K2SO, you could say Cassian quote unquote acquires K2SO at the end of episode 8, even though, spoiler alert, he's in about half a dozen pieces. But then at the end of episode 9, he's repaired, he's reprogrammed, and we get Alan Tudyk's sweet boy, Alan Tudyk voicing him again for the first time since Rogue One. So again, I can't help but feel like Disney knew what was going to happen in the episodes that that we first see the UWing again, and we only see it for a few minutes in that 3-episode arc, but it is there. Plus, and then the figures are key characters in that arc. Even as I said, the ISB tactical unit, even though you could almost call him the throwaway character, it still plays a key role in that arc. So yeah, decent build. 10 out of 10 for the figures, with the exception of Dedra's miscoloring on the legs. So all in all, for $70, I'd say this is actually a pretty solid, set. Your figures, again, wonderfully picked. The features on the UWing, most of them are downscaled reuses from the original UWing, and for a quote-unquote downscaled UWing, it's not downscaled all that much. And we're talking about a set that was, I believe, this set was only about $10 cheaper than the original UWing compared to its original retail price. So all in all, pretty solid set. Yeah, pretty comparable to its predecessor. I see no reason why you shouldn't pick it up, especially if you're a fan of Andor. Especially those episodes 7, 8, and 9 that just premiered on the 6th. I'm actually recording this on the 7th because I wasn't able to watch the 7, 8, and episodes 7, 8, and 9 the day they premiered. But yeah, I'm glad I decided to wait to build this set until I was like, you know what? Maybe the episodes that this set is based off of are episodes 7, 8, 9. Turns out that they were. So yeah. So yeah. Long story short, absolutely pick this set up if you're a fan of it, or if you weren't able to get a hold of the original UWing. So that'll be the end of this review. Thank you for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. Ring the bell to be notified of all videos as soon as they become available. Check out my channel and some more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I will see you all in the next video. Later, everybody.